before. Similar problems, but we're going to practice them anyway. Okay? When you see the number 16, what multiplication facts do you think of? Okay, 2 times 8. And what else can you do other than 2 and 8?
8 times 2.
8 times 2. Okay, can you do other numbers?
No.
What about 4? 4 times what?
4 times 3.
4 times 3 is 12.
4 times 4.
4 times 4. Okay. All right, we'll do the next one. When you see this number, what multiplication facts do you think of?
Well,
Think about it like this. 2 times what gives you 28?
18.
Not 18. 2 times 18 would be 36. So 2 times what? What about 4 times something? Okay. 4 times what gives you 28?
4 times 6.
4 times 6 is 24. So 4 times 7 will be good. All right. When you see this number, what multiplication facts do you think of? 32.
Oh, man.
Not 8 times 7, it's 8 times what? What about 2 times something? 2 times what gives you 32?
Yeah. 8 times 5.
8 times 5 is 40. Would be 8 times
4.
4. I know, some of these are trickier. Okay, let's think you can do this one. When you see 36, what multiplication facts do you think of?
4 times 9.
4 times 9, good. Very good. All right, you got that one. When you see this number 42, what facts do you think of? What times what?
Times 6.
Perfect. Excellent. 7 times 6. Only have a couple more. When you see 48, what do you think of? What was this one? This was 6 times.
6 times 4.
This one, 42, you said was 6 times 7. So what's 48? 6 times. This was 7, right? 6 times 7 was 42. So 6 times what gives you 48? This was 6 times 7. So this one's 6 times 8. Very good. Just 6 more, right? 42 to 48, so it's 6 times 7, 6 times 8. Okay. Let's do this one. When you see the number 49, what multiplication facts do you think of?
7 times 7.
Very good. Start with the division, all right? Okay, let's look at the first problem. I'll read it to you. Okay, a class has 32 students. This class will make 8 equal teams. How many students will be on each team? So let's look at first. I have it up here. How many students are there in the class?
Should I read it?
No, how many students are there in the class total?
32.
32, right? Okay, so there's 32 in the class. How many teams are we going to make?
8.
So we have 8 teams, right? Okay. So do we know how many are on each team?
If they're over, I can write it down.
Well, we don't. Do we know it? That's what we have to find out, right?
Yeah.
We don't know how many are on each team, so we don't know how many are on each team. All right. How do you think you're going to answer this question? What were you going to do?
Multiply 32 times 8.
Okay. So we're not going to do multiplication this time. We're doing division. Okay? We switched. We're doing division now. So let's see with these. We have 32 here. All right? So we need to make them into equal groups. What do you think we would do? 8 equal groups. So let's put 8 here, right? And we have 8, 4, 8, and then we have 8. So how many groups do we have?
4.
4 groups. Okay, so if I were to ask you to do a diagram, you would draw out 4 here, 8 here, 8 here, 8 here, and 8 here. Okay? You don't have to do that for this one, but that's how we would do it, as a diagram. All right? Is there a formula that you can think of, or a math problem you can do for that? What's divided by what?
4 divided by 8.
4 divided by 8. How many do we have total in the class?
32.
32. And how many teams?
8.
So we're going to do 32 divided by?
Divided by 8.
32 divided by 8. Okay? So we would do, and what's that going to give you? How many groups?
4.
4 groups, right? So there's different ways you can write this, right? You can do 32 divided by 8. Does that one work? You've seen that before?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's how you might be able to write. And then on top, the answer is, you said 4. Okay? All right, so that's how you're going to do division. Now we're going to go to the next problem. Okay? We have 8 equal groups. Or we have, 4 groups total. 1, 2, 3, 4. So for the next one over here, you're going to do 3 parts. Okay? You're going to do the problem in column form. That's what we call this, column form. Okay? It's just a fancy way they call it. So you're going to write it like this for this one, and you're also going to do a diagram like this. Okay? All right. You want to read the second question?
Anthony has 20 trading cards. He wants to share the cards equally among 5 people. How many cards will each person get? How many, if any, are left over?
Okay. So, let's look at, hold on, before you start, let's look at how many does he have total?
20.
20, right? So he has 20. How many people is he going to be sharing it with?
5.
5, right? share with 5 people. So we don't know how many everybody gets, right? That's what we have to find.
Just put it on top, Tyler.
We're not sure. Okay. So, first, I want you to do a diagram. Just using 20.
Homer's on the same page.
Okay, so let's take these away. That's 20, right?
Yeah.
So you need to do them in how many groups?
5.
5. Okay. 5 equal groups. How many groups is that? About 4. Oh, because you're doing it in 4 equal groups, so 5 people. So you have to give it to 5 people. You've only given to 4 people. On here, you have to share with 5 people. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. But what about the people here? You were close before. That's good. Okay. Good. That's, so how many does every group get? 5. You have 5 groups and everybody gets 4, right? Okay, so draw your diagram. And then try to write it in column form. So that's good. So what do we divide by what in this one?
We divide by 5.
Yeah. And the answer was?
So why did you do that?
Okay, and the last thing I want to do, says here,
That
to
is
write
your
it
down payment.
as a sentence.
That is your down payment.
Oh, you're going through and doing that, yeah.
So you can do that times 4 years.
Because when you do 8 times 4, you get 32, and you subtracting is 0, right?
And you're adding.
So now write it as a sentence. So, how many
That's your
will each person get? Everyone gets 4 cards. Good. Okay. Any questions? Was that pretty easy? Yeah. Okay. And the last thing, something I learned today was, you gotta tell me what you learned.